Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show. I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, checking in here live on Sunday night as Uncle Buck and I have to pre-record. More on that to come here in a minute. But I got my guy, Uncle Buck, Drew Gann, on the mic with me tonight/today. Uncle Buck, how are you today, sir?
What is up? There's no better way to start your week than to record a Two Buck Sports Show with your friend on a Monday. There's no better way to end your weekend than to end it with recording a Two Buck Sports Show with your friend. So glad to be here winding down. It is 8:28 God's time zone here in North Mississippi and East Memphis, Tennessee. So if anything happens after, say, 9:30, we are not responsible.
We're not responsible, but it is kind of nice to recording. And for fans, long-term fans, I'm looking at you, Cousin Kirk, and Mama Vicky and Mama Lee that have watched this show from the beginning, Pat Jones, all you guys. It's nice to be able to have a libation while we sit here on the mic. It's dark outside. Like, there were times, Drew, where we didn't start recording until 9 or 10 o'clock Eastern time zone to get this thing done in the early days. So it's kind of nice to have the throwback tonight, you know?
I tell you what, it shows you the priorities that we had when we started and maybe the expectations that we had for ourselves when we started versus where we are now. Because when we first started, we may start at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. We may go for 2 hours. We get zero topics that anybody cares about.
That's it.
But we've gotten here. Rusty sobered up. And we started having good shows, and we're going to let him have a little brown water tonight.
That's right. A little liquid thunder. And I need it today, Drew. It's a stressful day. I had the ultimate relationship test before we get into our best of beef. This was going to be my beef tonight, but I thought of another beef that's kind of on topic. But like,
pooped with the door open?
No, that's I am what I am. Like, it happens. Maggie needed a haircut, and not just like a trim. She doesn't pay for a haircut. She cuts it herself, and so she asked me to be her barber, stylist, or whatever tonight. And Drew, not only did I didn't just cut the ends off, we cut about 6 inches off of her hair, and it looks awesome. Fantastic Sam's ain't got nothing on me. That's where I'm setting the bar. I ain't talking about a professional. Fantastic Sam's, Sports Clips ain't got nothing on me.
What was the one? Smart Style in Walmart, where our boss used to take us to. The Walmart barbershop. Haley has never asked me to cut her hair. Yeah. She has cut her hair in the bathroom before and said, I think I've made a terrible mistake. And that's happened a couple of times. She gave herself bangs one time.
That's your problem. You don't do
that. You would have thought she was going through something terrible because that's when girls just give themselves bangs. But this was just a normal happy Tuesday. And I was like, honey, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I just want to try something new.
She is married to you, so that would drive a woman to get bangs.
Yeah, like, you're losing yours. I thought I'd find mine.
That's it. But Maggie looks great. She's trimmed hers for years, and she looks even better after the professional job I did today. But that's why I'm drinking a little bit of brown water tonight as we record. That's not even the best part of our show, Drew. We've already got into some best in beef. Before we get into everybody's favorite time waste.
That's right. Even though me and Rusty are talking on Sunday night here across the screen from each other, it is the Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show on Bluff City Media's YouTube and X pages. I would like to take a moment to cordially invite everybody that is watching on Twitter right now to come on over to YouTube. Whereas we're obviously not seeing your comments. We're not that talented.
Well, hey,
technology
Future Rusty,
made it that far.
Not now, but Future Rusty is watching. He's supposed to be paying attention to a meeting, but he's watching.
So just come hang out with all the cool kids. I don't know it for a fact, Rusty, but I can almost guarantee it. I'd be willing to put my house that Wayno and Edward and King Meeks and all the cool cats are in the comments already on YouTube. So if you want to talk to us, I'm sorry, but you can still talk to them and enjoy the show with our friends here on the YouTube page. Go to Bluff City Media's YouTube page and hang out with all the cool kids. This is our Best of Beef segment. We do it every single Monday. It's where two best friends of over a decade just concentrate their weekends into 2 points to tell each other about. It's our biggest beef of the weekend and the best thing that happened to us this weekend. And it has a sponsor.
Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. My cousin Jim is the chef and co-owner with his lovely lady, Miss Jessica Williams. Great folks, great food. Go get you a chocolate gravy and biscuit. He had a tenderloin biscuit. He sent a picture to the group chat, appropriately named Dweebs, with me, him, and my brother Clark. We've been
spot on
Dweebs since we were kids. You know, Maggie and I were talking tonight, watching Stranger Things, about how cool it is to be nerds. And we were nerds. We were just sports nerds, right? And so like, we were all the time sitting in sports meetings in there. But Dweebs is the group chat that you want to be in. Anyway, he sent a picture of a tenderloin biscuit in it the other day, and it was fire. So go check out Jim and the gang, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi, for the best breakfast and sack lunch you can find on your way to Pickwick.
There you go. All right, Rusty. I set him up. You knock him down. What's the best thing that happened to you over the weekend?
Man, mine was like last week. So it was last week. I went to Denver for 3 days for training, and Drew, I was invested in and I was poured in like I never have been in an orientation. It was just mind blowing how different it could be. How like the first whole day, Tuesday, all we did was listen to the story behind the company. We told our stories about why we're here. We kind of leaned into more of the personal aspect of what we're doing. And then on Wednesday, we got into the nuts and bolts. And so Wednesday was a grind. Thursday, I got my picture made. I sent the goofy picture in the group chat, Curling for Gentlemen. It was amazing. But we had a good time. And we asserted dominance at Top Golf on a Wednesday night. Okay. Top Golf was the event on Wednesday night. We all went out as a big group. They had this amazing like fajita taco bar. It was super good food. And your boy, like in the first round, one of our RDs, he bragged all day. I golf all the time. I golf all the time. I'm a good golfer. Okay. And so the first round, he had like 600 points, and I had like 550, and then everybody else was in like the hundreds. Like we had, like he and I were the only ones kind of knew what we were doing. Well, your boy got warmed up in that second round, and he got the driver out and was bragging about his little, like, my driver's this, that, and the other. So I figured out how to play my slice exactly down the left fence to where it'd fall in the middle in the back. Your boy hung 1,344 points on him, beat him by over 600 points, let him know how we do it in the great state of Mississippi, and took the prize home from Top Golf on Wednesday night.
If there's one thing the great state of Mississippi is known for, it's golf.
It's golf.
And he should have known that. He should have known.
He should have known. You come at the king, you best not miss. But no, we had a great time, just got invested in. I feel like I got a really good launch and a good start, although my beef is coming up here in a minute with this. But we had a great meal Tuesday night. It was just an awesome time of like true connection and training and understanding that I don't know what I'm doing in this new job yet, but it's early. Give me time and I might figure it out. Otherwise, I'll go work at the Dollar General, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it is cool to have an experience at a new company, and where the first little bit is just about building relationships. It seems like so like the onboarding camaraderie events actually go a long way, especially when you're going into a company where nobody, you don't have any connections, and to know that the company you work for stands for the right things, about the right things, you're working with good people, goes a long way.
Yeah, and the high moral character, like the company values and what they stand for, and just how they just invested in us for a couple of days, really went a long way for me. And I mean, it makes sense. We're going into a job that is very relationship driven, right? We're trying to push, connection with people for them to do business with us. So it was great. They set a really good example on day one.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. We had a really low-key weekend here in North Mississippi. We didn't leave the house till we went to church this morning. So I guess my best of the week is we just did a lot of cleaning out. It's not spring cleaning because dang it, I guess it's August now.
Yeah.
Snuck up on it. But my wife and I, we just gutted everything out of our closets, out of our drawers, and just cleaned everything up. Mm-hmm. Our house looks really good. What you don't realize this, and I don't. Anybody who's got kids probably realizes. Hopefully, we're not the only ones. But I'm going to talk about it as if everybody relates with us.
Sure.
So, we've got 4 kids, 2 of which are 3 and 1, but none of which do a particularly good job of cleaning up after themselves.
Shocker.
And so, our room is often the one that just gets put off to tomorrow because, oh my goodness, somebody's got to sweep the crayons out of the floor and pick up all the broken pieces of paper that one of the kids shredded today. Just crazy. And so to just spend a day in our house all of our space is downstairs. We just hung out downstairs. Me and Haley, the kids, it was Saturday. We did the old country thing where it's like, go outside, play, make sure your little brother doesn't like jump off of anything kind of thing day. And we just cleansed ourselves of a ton of stuff. It was great. We dropped
it
like
feels good.
Garbage bags of stuff off at the Goodwill today.
And that feels good. I've taken a couple loads as I'm trying to like condense my stuff down, and just being able to like declutter and clean out. It's a good feeling. It sucks in the moment. Cleaning's kind of a bummer, but like it feels good. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you can't really stop in the middle of because, good Lord, trying to get the nerve back up to start again when you've made the mess, to finish cleaning the mess, it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude. And
it does.
It was iffy for a little bit after we cooked.
Touch and go.
So, but I was like, we're doing it. We got to do it. So, what's your biggest beef of the week, Buckets?
Yeah, it's the reason we're recording tonight. As part of this new training, it's great. For the next 15 weeks, I've got an 8 a.m. call and an 11 a.m. call. And what happens at 11 a.m. but your $2 sports show. And so that's why we're recording on Sunday night. And like, it's a bummer because like you said earlier, like I love starting my week with the $2 sports show on my lunch break on Mondays. But for the next 15 weeks, we're going to be recording on Sunday night, or you're going to see another face on here with my guy, Drew Gian. So it's just, it is what it is. It's part of it. They're setting us up for success. They're going to walk us through establishing relationships, getting in with vendors, creating client rapport, figuring out how to navigate a deal and work a deal from start to finish. So it's going to be really good and important. Hence why we're recording tonight. And Rusty, again, make sure you're paying attention. But like it's something that I need, but it's a bummer that like it's going to change my Monday schedule for a little while.
I give it 3 weeks before Rusty is on those calls muted with no camera on and doing the $2 sports show alongside of it.
I honestly, when those calls dropped, I was like, I'll just have it like, because I've got, y'all can't see it now, but I've got two screens now, right?
Everybody knows what it's like to have a corporate call. Like
But they said, Colin said, there's going to be 15 of us on the call. You need to have your camera on because we will call on you for questions. And so I was like, not going to be able to do the $2 sports show.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess the $2 sports show is going to have to start making us a little bit more money. So
and it's a bummer because we go 5 days a week. Last week, I'm gone for 3 days. Now we're 5 days a week, and I can't do Mondays. So bully
4 days a week for Rusty. You're going to start accruing points here. We're going to go back and go to the point system.
That's it.
And you're just a couple days away from a formal warning. My biggest beef of the week. I think I'm good. I'm good. Listen, we stay so busy. We run and we run and we run and we run. It feels like the last 2 weekends we've had weekends where it was just like, no, we're staying home for one reason or another. We're staying home. Mom and Dad asked us to go to the lake today, and it was like I would really like to go to the lake, but you know what we did instead is we came home with our family. And we hung out. We took a nap. We watched the end of the FedEx St. Jude Classic together. I cooked grilled cheeses on the grill. And we're all just relaxed and have the opportunity to go into a Monday just as refreshed as possible. So
absolutely,
some people may call me selfish or call us selfish. We've gotten to the point, my wife being pregnant now, she's in that stage of pregnancy where fatigue is a factor. Mm-hmm. And we're just looking out for number one. And I love it. I love it. That. Everybody else gets a lot from us.
Yeah.
We're going to start putting some for ourselves aside.
Love that. Listen, anytime we don't have a beef, that's a good thing. That's a good day. All is good in the neighborhood. But speaking of all is good in the neighborhood, I do want to talk to you about Ounce of Hope. Ounce of Hope is one of our original sponsors. We love these cats. OunceofHope.com, code Bluff City, gets you 15% off your first order. It cannot be combined with other orders or promotions. But we got Chokin' and Token coming up this weekend, this Saturday, August the 16th at 1 p.m., Midtown Krav Maga Jiu-Jitsu. Come hang out with me. I think Luke might be there. Katie's going to be there. It's going to be an awesome time watching dudes get folded like a cheap suit, consuming some great Ounce of Hope products. My biggest push or kick lately has been the Roasted. Their coffee blends. It's got 5 milligrams of THC, 10 milligrams of CBD. It's just a nice, relaxing way to start a Saturday. Could not recommend more. Check out the Roasted and come hang out with us this Saturday at Midtown Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
and token. The Mid-South's first cannabis-themed jiu-jitsu tournament.
August 16th at Midtown Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
At 1 p.m. 21 plus to compete or consume.
Consumption not required.
Ounce of Hope is licensed by the state of Tennessee. This is all 100% legal hemp products. Everything's good to go.
We'll have gi divisions.
No gi divisions.
Madison bracket, guaranteeing 4 matches per division, plus an absolute winner.
Each fighter receives an Ounce of Hope gift bag, and there's prizes for every winner.
Check out the link below to sign up.
All the best golfers in the world, 69 of the top 70 in the world, are coming here for the FedEx St. Jude Championship.
I'm disappointed in Rory.
Rory's not here. Yeah, he's the one that decided not to come because he does not like children.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know about that?
I don't know that side of it. I'm not going that far, but like any other sport, or when we talk about
hates puppies too.
that as professionals, we have a job to do, and you have a responsibility to the game. It doesn't bode well for the game for your top player to just
skip a playoff event.
Skip the first leg of it and just be like, I'm good.
I don't need it.
I'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. I've seen some people really kind of get after Penny for that statement.
I have not, bro. I haven't seen much of anything on this whole thing.
Like, what did you expect him to say? You expect him to come out and just throw the kid to the wolves? That is, if in the history of Penny Hardaway as the head coach of the University of Memphis, when has that ever happened? When has he ever done that?
Yeah, he's never done it. Yeah. But that cloud over the team is going to be there as long as these investigations and these accusations are on the way.
If the Tigers come out and they win games, especially early on, and Sincere Parker's an active contributor to them winning games, ain't nobody going to talk about anything that happened legally with him. Now, if they come out and they struggle and he struggles, then the questions are going to be, why are they struggling? Is it because of the legal cloud hanging over Sincere Parker's head, right? Like,
good point.
But if they win games, I can guarantee you there is not going to be a single conversation about the off-season legal stuff that he's going to be going through. Check out the Anthony Sain Show live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the $2 Sports Show's Monday edition of the show. We just wrapped up our Best in the Beef of the week. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't listened to it yet, if you're coming in live right now, just rewind it a little bit. This is a pre-recorded show. Watch the Best in the Beef. And now we're going to talk some sports. I think this is probably why most people are here, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, people come and they listen to our Tom Fuller. I know Wayno and Maggie, and they typically comment on our Best in Beef. But shout out to user 156489007 or whatever his username was. We don't want to hear about your personal lives. We want to hear about Zach Edey and the Memphis Grizzlies. What's his exact wording? So
you think that guy probably hates me more now than he did watching the first 15 minutes of the $2 Sports Show after the Grizzlies drafted Zach Edey.
What he doesn't know is he has become a mainstay on this show because of you and I both were like, hey man, look, we made it. We got a hater.
yeah. And Rusty, that day we spent a lot of time hating on Zach Edey, and then Rusty's changed sides on me. But I'm a true and honest American. So
I watched him play basketball and the coaching malpractice that occurred. But anyway, Drew, we are going to talk some NBA before we get into the most important season of all, which is college football season. But before we get there, the NBA announced at the end of last week, over the weekend, the opening night slate of games. As it's kind of an honor to play on opening night, just like it is Christmas, which we'll get to here in a minute because they announced that as well. But your two opening night games, and the first night of the NBA season is Houston at Oklahoma City and the Golden State Warriors go to the LA Lakers, Drew. That Houston OKC game, you got Kevin Durant against his former team with his new team. You've got the Thunder running it back basically the same as they were last year. As you see here on your screen, FanDuel Sportsbook has your win total set at 55.5 for Houston and a astonishing 62.5 regular season wins for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Drew. I think that's the game that everybody's going to be watching and leaning into of the two. That's the one that has people's attention.
Yeah, for two reasons. I mean, Oklahoma City is, for them to hit the over on 62.5, they're going to have to go 63-19. That's wild. I think I'll just take the under just because I like to be a hater anyways. But the most interesting part of this is Kevin Durant being on the opposing team's sideline in Oklahoma City as they get their rings. You know, the King Petty himself, Twitter troll, the original NBA Twitter troll, Kevin Durant, making his hay at Oklahoma City, ditching them and going in winning titles. And Golden State comes back as on his, fifth team now?
Yeah.
Fifth team? Oklahoma City, Golden State, Phoenix, Brooklyn. Fifth team,
Houston,
fifth team. And going back to Oklahoma City, the place that called him a cupcake, and watching that franchise get their first ever NBA title rings.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. And so I meant to say this before I got so excited about opening night. Y'all, I'm looking at you, Luke Capmaker. For those of you who are new to betting and want to learn FanDuel, I was looking at this earlier. FanDuel Sportsbook, if you go to FanDuel.com, if you look on the left-hand side, you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a section called 101 Learn to Bet. So if you're curious about what 55.5 actually means, what does it mean when LSU is plus 600 to win the SEC? Like, what does that even mean? Go check out that link. They support you. They want you to become a degenerate like myself and bet a bunch of money on sports. And so go check out 101 Learn to Bet at FanDuel.com.
Just remember, if it's plus money, if you bet $100, that's the amount of money you get. If it's minus money, if you bet that amount of money, you get $100.
That's it. It's pretty
simple. Okay.
But yeah, Drew, you get Kevin Durant in his first exposure in a Rockets jersey against his old team, and Oklahoma City begins their title defense. I think it's a great first game. We get to see kind of the hype around these two teams. You know, Houston really went all in with KD. They moved off of Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green. They brought in Clint Capella. They brought in, I'm missing a couple, but like
DFS.
Like they really beefed up. They re-signed Steven Adams and beefed up their front court around Alfred Şengün. Like this Houston team retooled for a run to the title, and we're going to find out opening night what that is. In the later game, you got the Warriors and the Lakers.
Hold on. I've got thoughts on this. My first thought, as you were talking about this, was like, this is not even about the game. Maybe I shouldn't have even stopped you. But when Kevin Durant's career is over, who do you think he will be remembered playing for? Because I think Grizzlies fans will remember him as the
Thunder. I get that, but I think the
overarching
large the Warriors
leaving the Thunder and going to Golden State. I think I'll probably remember him more as a Golden State Warrior.
That's what I'm saying. Like he went out there, he bought his title, right? He went and joined the best team in the world that had just won 60-something games.
73 games.
Yeah. 73 games, only then to go win a finals MVP. Couldn't do it himself, could be homegrown. And then he had to go suffer in Brooklyn for a while after. But unless barring some kind of run to the historic run of the finals here with the Rockets, he's going to he'll go down as a Warrior for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking
of Warriors.
There you go. Speaking of the Warriors, you got the retooled Golden State Warriors visiting the LA Lakers with DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic and a little bit of a different spin on their team next year, Drew. The Golden State at 45.5 wins, that's a little telling, right? This might be one of the lowest ones we've seen for Golden State in a while. I think people are worried about Father Time catching up with the Warriors since they're even less than the Lakers at 48.5, whose summer acquisitions, hold on to your hats, or as Samuel L. Jackson once said, hold on to your butts in Jurassic Park 1. Their summer acquisitions being Jake LaRavia and DeAndre Ayton. Again, that's it. End of list.
Well, I tell you what, one really balances out the other because Jake LaRavia probably had to put their over-under at 69.5. But then they added DeAndre Ayton. And I'm going to
say something.
36 and a half.
Yeah. I want to say something really nice about Jake LaRavia. Like, for whatever lack of effort DeAndre Ayton's going to give you, at least Jake plays hard. He growing up in the YMCA in Corinth, Mississippi, in any sports league, the one award you didn't want to win was the Hustle Award. And my brother won it one year, and we gave him hell for winning that. But like the Hustle Award meant you're not real good, but you sure do try hard. And that's what Jake LaRavia would win every year.
But you know what award DeAndre Ayton will never win? Is a Hustle Award. I mean, that will go down. And I think that if you are a Phoenix Suns fan, just don't watch this game because you will be reminded that you took DeAndre Ayton over Luka Doncic in this one game. I mean, you took, and then also, if you are a Sacramento Kings fan, don't watch it because you took Marvin Bagley over Luka Doncic. So
shout out little brother Benjamin Garcia and the Phoenix Suns for sure. But Drew, this is opening night. We kind of get like it's fun, right? You get the first game of the year. All eyes are on you. It'll be an ESPN doubleheader. But the game that everybody wants to play, and your Memphis Grizzlies have played it exactly one time and got run off the court. I wrote an article about it on our old WordPress. If you look real hard on the internet, you can find it. It's
not pretty
out there somewhere, but it wasn't pretty. But it's Christmas Day. That's the day that everybody, including Clark Griswold, tunes into the NBA and watches basketball all day long because who's going to watch Christmas movies and all this kind of stuff? At this point, you should have already seen The Grinch. You should have already seen Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Day is not for Christmas movies.
No. It's the lead-up time. On Christmas Day, it's for basketball. So we got the Cavaliers at the Knicks. We got the Spurs at the Thunder, Rockets at the Lakers, Mavs, Warriors, Timberwolves, and Nuggets. Drew, to me, the ones that jump out first, I like the Spurs Thunder. You get to see the Spurs. Wemby, he's back. He's healthy. They've added Dylan Harper to an already dynamic backcourt of Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. It's kind of like the Spurs kind of coming in at this point. They could be, depends on how the season's going, but like the Spurs are set up to make a decent run. And if they're having any kind of a great season, we know Oklahoma State is going to be good. To me, that's the first game that jumps out. Like I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that Spurs Thunder game. What about you?
Listen, 2 Eastern Conference teams playing on Christmas Day. The rest are all Western Conference. If that shows you where the star power is at in the league. I really hate that. I resent the Spurs now. I now look at the Spurs with resent like I used to look at the Thunder, but then the Thunder ran off and won a title, so I can't resent them anymore. But the Spurs, listen, the Grizzlies don't deserve a game on Christmas Day, but do the Spurs. I mean, that's just what I'm saying. To paraphrase Clark W. Griswold, if you told me that the Grizzlies played a Christmas Day game, I wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet.
Absolutely. We get one game, we get embarrassed on national TV,
and never again.
Like, never again.
No Martin Luther King, no Christmas Day,
nothing.
No Black, nothing.
And today being August the 10th, John Morant's 26th birthday. John Morant, happy belated as we're watching this on Monday. Couldn't even get a game, like an announcement for his birthday. Like he gets a great shoe deal, but the Grizzlies don't get any kind of love. Drew, we've talked about the Thunder. We've talked about the Lakers and Warriors. A couple of note, the San Antonio Spurs are on FanDuel.com set at 43.5 wins. Over, under, you take it there, Drew.
43.5. That over would have to go 44 and 38.
Mm-hmm. That's doable.
That's pretty good line. I'll probably say under. Let's go under. Like I said, I want to be a hater for them. I don't want to see them do good. We've talked about it ad nauseum. I love De'Aaron Fox, but your core 3, your most important 3 players are still on the rookie deals. Yes, Wemby is legendary. I get it. But you're going to have heavy roles played by Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. And those are rookies and second-year guys. So I'll go under.
Fair. I'm going to hit the over. I think the Spurs are going to hit the over. I think they're going to be better. I think Dylan Harper is a dynamic player that's going to be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. Again, it's Cooper Flagg, who plays also on Christmas Day against the Warriors. It's his to lose, but I think Dylan Harper could make a case, especially given injury, any kind of injury to Cooper Flagg. The other one of note today, I do want to talk about, what about the Cavs? The Cavs are an interesting team, right? You've got Darius Garland's going to be out. They've added Lonzo Ball. They're in the Eastern Conference that's going to be down, but one of your division rivals now added moved Miles Turner from the Pacers to the Bucks. So just like copy and paste. The Cavs are set at 55.5. And the Cavs were great in the regular season last year. The Cavalanche was a real thing. They could run up the points on you in a hurry. But, Drew, 55.5 feels like a large, like a high number for the Cavs next year. Or am I just trying to be a hater here?
So 56 and 24 would go over. 55 and 27 would be, is that right? Yeah, 55, 27, that's 82.
Yeah.
That would be an under. What you got to think about these Eastern Conference teams is the two teams that are playing on Christmas Day, basically the only two teams, and then add in Milwaukee, I guess, that I feel like we can absolutely bank on being a top 3 to 4 seed in the East. Add in, if you want to call wild cards being Orlando and Detroit.
Yeah.
But, and you contrast that, as I was thinking when you were talking, like I said, you've got 8 Western Conference teams playing on Christmas Day. 7 of them, I think most people would expect, 6 of them, most of them would expect to be better than the Grizzlies.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how deep the West is. And compare that to Cavs and Knicks being your only 2 Christmas Day games, and then the wild cards of, Milwaukee, Orlando, Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good spot to be in, and it's the reason why for the 2 teams, Knicks and Cavs, I don't have any problem hitting the over.
Yeah. And, what could be for the Grizzlies an 8-seeded record could get you into the 4th or 5th seed in the Eastern Conference, simply because we have teams in the 6th, 7th, and 8th spot year in and year out in the Eastern Conference with a 500 or worse record representing the Eastern Conference in the playoffs. And so, Drew, the last one we'll talk about here, the last 2, I guess, because they are directly Memphis Grizzlies related. The Dallas Mavericks, they're down Kyrie because he popped his ACL late in the season, but they added Cooper Flagg. The running back is an interesting team. Added D'Angelo Russell, are sitting at 40.5 wins. And the Minnesota Timberwolves re-signed all their role players, right? You got Julius Randle back on a big contract. Nas Reed got shirt up for the next 5 years, are 49.5. Of the 2, the Mavs at 40.5, the Minnesota at 49.5 on FanDuel.com. Drew, which one of these 2 teams do you think is more likely to hit the over?
50. Did you say 59.5?
49.5 for Minnesota.
49.5. Minnesota. Minnesota's been in the Western Conference Finals 2 out of the or back-to-back years. Rather, I'm a believer in Minnesota. They're just running it back. A team that went to the Western Conference Finals. So I have no problem betting the over on Minnesota, and especially since you gave me an either-or with Dallas, and I am high on Cooper Flagg, but they're an Anthony Davis injury away from just being the Cooper Flagg show.
Yeah.
And as much as I love Cooper Flagg, we know Anthony Davis is going to get hurt, and that will result in an under bet for me.
I mean, Anthony Davis is, again, as been reported on the Daily Grind, is the first player in the history of the NBA to play basketball made entirely of paper mache. And so we're looking at a groin injury, we're looking at a back injury, we're looking at an ankle injury that's going to keep him out for extended time. I think, how about this? What's more likely? And I think that it's still I think the Mavericks are more likely to hit the under than Minnesota maybe hits the over. And that's not saying that Minnesota won't win 50-51 games, but I do think that the Mavericks are more likely, given, again, Anthony Davis health. Cooper Flagg is an all-world rookie. He's amazing. But the vast majority of your season is going to be spent with D'Angelo Russell running that offense. No Kyrie Irving. Again, you got Daniel Gafford is back. Almost calling him Blake Lively, but Derek Lively is running the post. I mean, Blake Lively might be.
You're talking about selling some tickets right there. You're selling some tickets.
I don't know. She might be a great post player. Who knows? But Derek Lively, they're a decent team. But I think as long as D'Angelo Russell's running that team, you got Anthony Davis made of paper mache. I think they're more likely to hit the under, and Minnesota is more likely to hit the over.
Yeah, if you gave me the option of Dallas under or Minnesota over, I would take Dallas under. However, you didn't give me that option. You made me pick over for both.
I just thought of it as I'm working through this. All right,
this is what happens when you don't plan ahead.
Listen, this is what happens when you watch a free show, right? You get what you pay for here on the $2 Sports Show. But Drew, it is our favorite time of the year, so let's not waste any more time. That might be my favorite song.
Yeah, it really gets me in like an EDM. Like I'm just over here fist pumping while the thing's going on. So Welcome to the third segment of the $2 Sports Show, your Monday edition of the $2 Sports Show on Bluff City Media's YouTube and X pages. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us for the last 36 minutes as we finally make it to our favorite part. And I hope it's everybody's favorite part by the end of it. Who knows? If the college football fans show up, we'll move it up earlier in the show.
Absolutely.
Because we love college football, and it is right around the corner. It is August the 11th. We are like, 19 days away? 18 days away from kickoff. I'm celebrating kickoff by watching the Auburn and Baylor game. I'm not a fiend that's just, I don't know what Mountain West or Division II game they're going to come on like Tuesday of that week. For me, kickoff is Auburn versus Baylor in Waco, Texas. That's what I'm excited about.
Is that Friday night? That
is Friday night.
Yeah, because that's Friday night. Saturday at high noon, you got Texas and Ohio State. And Drew, we will be at Grind City, hanging out, watching games, talking about games. Y'all come hang out. Grind City Brewing is going to be your spot for college football this fall. On Saturdays, hang out with me, Uncle Buck, Christian Fowler. Gabe Kuhn has said he's going to make some appearances as well as come hang out. Kenny Stubblefield is going to be there. You got Zach and Charlie and Jordan and the gang from Grind City pouring great beers. It's going to be an awesome time. Grind City Brewing is your spot to watch college football this fall.
Truly cannot wait for those events. And that starts opening day or the first Saturday of college football season.
Thank you.
So as we approach it, all kinds of lists and rankings and news and tidbits are coming out. And I found this on Friday, and I was like, this is really interesting. I found a website, collegefootballnews.com. There are 136 FBS football programs. That's 136 programs that, in theory, could compete for a college football playoff game. Is that the truth? No. But 136 teams play it. And this website did the painstaking research and ranked all 136 college football head coaches. And we're going to go through the whole list. I'm just kidding. We're not going to go through the whole list. But I did compile the ones that are notable. These are going to be all the SEC coaches. Brian Silverfield's on this list. Any coach that I thought would be of note that you guys would be interested in.
And I will give you their championship odds from FanDuel as Drew calls them out.
Okay. Well, number 135 was a name we all know. Not going to say that we all love, but we all know, and I believe there's a Memphis tie in this. He's a former Super Bowl winning quarterback. Just interject if you think you know who this is. Okay. He was famous he gained notoriety, I guess, coaching high school football. Now he's coaching college football. He is Trent Dilfer of Baltimore Ravens fame. Arguably the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Ever.
Trent Dilfer comes in at number 135, one spot above the gutter here as the head coach of the UAB Blazers.
Listen, Trent Dilfer.
Don't even look up their odds.
I'm trying to see. They are plus 100,000.
Yeah, they need commas by the time you get to his odds.
I'm like, I had to put my cursor in the middle so I could see 100 plus 100,000 for the UAB. Drew, he was like that defense on that Ravens team. You and I could have played quarterback and would have won.
Just hand it to Jamal Anderson. It's not that hard.
That's it. And then let Ray Lewis murder people too soon on the other side.
No, it's not too. Never. They gave that man a gold jacket. Number 135, two spots above. This is just near and dear to my heart because I hated him as an offensive coordinator at Ole Miss. Phil Longo. Nobody knows who Phil Longo is, but it makes me feel vindicated that he is the, third from the bottom of college football head coaches. Sure. And coming in at 117 is the first SEC coach of 136 programs, the 117th best coach.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
Also known as the 19th worst coach. Jeff Lebby of Mississippi State.
So Jeff Lebby of Mississippi State, spoiler alert, Ryan Silverfield in Memphis, and Trent Dilfer at UAB all have the same championship odds at plus 100,000 on FanDuel Sports. I throw $1 on it, see what happens.
Yeah. All right, this one's interesting. This is not an SEC coach. He is number 115 on the list, but he was interesting because I was like, he's coaching college now. Frank Reich of the Indianapolis former Indianapolis Colt head coach, is now the head coach for the Stanford Cardinal in the ACC. So
Also plus 100,000.
Yeah, 115 for Frank Wright. Rusty can get his vengeance now because 108 is Joe Moorhead of Akron, former Mississippi State head coach.
Screw that guy, man.
All right, next SEC head coach, 83 Brent Venables at Oklahoma, which is probably pretty low, but he's on the hot seat.
Yeah, Oklahoma
79.
is one behind Ole Miss. Where'd it go? Oh no, where'd it go for? Actually, yeah. So they are plus 5,000 to win a college football national championship. Plus 5,000.
All right, and probably the most underrated coach on this list that I've gotten to so far is Clark Lee of Vanderbilt. How soon they forget that they beat Alabama last year. They beat Auburn last year. They beat
Tennessee.
No, didn't beat Tennessee.
They beat
Oh,
Tennessee.
they went to a bowl game. Vanderbilt. Okay.
Plus 100,000.
63 Mark Stoops at Kentucky. 62 Hugh Freeze from Auburn. Yeah. Prayer life's not what it once was, I don't guess.
Well, that and they actually watch his phones now.
Yeah. 61 Sam Pittman, and it's criminal to me that he is above Clark Lee and Mark Stoops and Hugh Freeze.
Also,
and I'm from a Hugh Freeze hater.
And they're plus 50,000. So if you really believe in Sam Pittman and the Hogs, plus 50,000, you can win some good money there.
Yeah, I know Jared's in the comments right now saying don't waste your money, and I agree with Jared.
No, Jared is going to be that guy that's in there. It's like, I believe this is the year.
No, I don't think he believes.
Jared's
all he's
smarter
done
than
is
that.
griped about his schedule. All right, number 60, one above Sam Pittman, is a former Florida Gator head coach and a former Mississippi State head coach, Dan Mullen, now at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Who might have one of those interesting runs next year because they've got like they're like the new last chance year. They got 4 guys that have been kicked off of other schools. And do you know who their defensive coordinator is?
No.
Vontez Burfict. Remember the
No
guy?
way. That's not true.
Absolutely. He's either
I would have put $1,000 on him being in prison right now.
So Vontez Burfict is where is it at? Because it like flew completely under the radar, but he is either a linebacker coach, I think he's a DC.
Okay. Well, as you look that up, Vontez Burfict is the worst headhunter in NFL history. He tried to kill every single Cincinnati Bengal he could.
He's a defensive analyst for UNLV. That's what he is. But he is. I just saw like it fleeting earlier, and I thought the same thing. Like, how's this guy not in federal prison for murdering somebody? Because he tried to kill so many people when he was in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, just awful. Yeah. He tried to kill every single Steeler. He's the reason why Antonio Brown is the way he is right now.
Messed up.
He's scrambled Antonio Brown's eggs.
100%.
All right. Next, 46 on the list, Shane Beamer of South Carolina. Listen, I'm going to tell you, if you watch any given Saturday on Netflix, the SEC, behind the scenes show that just came out last week, no one came out smelling like roses more than Clark Lee and Shane Beamer, in my opinion.
South Carolina is plus 8,000 to win the national championship.
That's lower than Ole Miss. I tend to agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, Memphis fans, number 44, 2 up from Shane Beamer, is Ryan Silverfield. Lots of respect getting in.
Yeah, I like Ryan Silverfield.
44 out of 136 coaches for a group of 5 school.
Sure.
All right. And he's only 2 behind 8 toes, Deion Sanders. When they say we're 10 toes down, they're not talking about Deion.
Talking about Deion. God bless him, man. Real quick, we reported on Deion's press conference and then never followed it up. But shout out to Deion. Like, he's coming back from cancer. He's battling back, got a team, and he handled it with class, too. I know this has been talked about, but just hearing him say, like, if you see a porta potty on the sideline, just know that's real.
Deion can do no wrong when it comes to talking to the media.
Yeah.
All right. No, one up from Deion Sanders at 41 is Billy Napier at Florida, who, last year, 2 weeks into the season, they had scrounged up enough money to pay his buyout and publicly said that they had come up with enough money to pay his buyout over him to finish the season incredibly hot and just end up being able to sleep well at night after the season was over. Had no thoughts of being fired.
Do you buy DJ Lagway? Do you think he can be something?
I I think he's really good. He has the potential to be the best quarterback in the SEC, but he's just. I think I need to see it. I need to see it. I know this is
fair.
first. He's really good though. He killed Ole Miss.
Yeah. I mean, he's special. He's super talented. Yeah.
I mean, he's like Jamarcus Russell back there. Like, he's just so hard to get on the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Mike Elko is next at Texas A&M. You probably got a Texas A&M bump on that one, although I do like Mike Elko.
Yeah.
Eli Drinkwitz at 26. Almost in the top 25 of coaches is Eli Drinkwitz. I don't really have any issue with this. I know you listened to my interview with our friend at PowerMizzou.com. I buy Eli Drinkwitz. He's doing everything a different way. Yes, he's a little weird, but the record on the field speaks for itself. They won 11 games 2 years ago. They won 10 games last year. And despite our best effort to say, Missouri, whatever, they're really good.
Listen, Missouri is one of the only SEC programs with like 4 11-win seasons in the last 10 years. They've been to more SEC title games than Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I mean, since coming in the conference, Missouri's figured out Drinkwitz is a big part of that. He's a nerd. He's goofy, but he wins football games.
All right, 19, and I think this is criminally low, but I'm a homer. Lane Kiffin barely cracks the top 20. I think that you're going to look at some of these names on the list, including the one right above him, and say, Lane's shown more than this fella. And
so Ole Miss is plus 4,500. A&M is plus 4,000, tied with Florida. 4 championship odds.
Okay. I think Lane Kiffin is an incredibly good coach. He's a forward-thinking coach. He's always ahead of the curve. You're looking at some of these coaches that time does them in because they just can't keep up anymore. Lane Kiffin is a visionary. I think he's a really good coach, and I would be shocked if he ever coaches a team that just sucks.
Yeah,
and I think that is the bar, really, for a good coach.
Took full advantage of ducking and faking injuries until they made a rule against it.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. He wasn't the only one, but because Lane Kiffin did it, you know what sells papers? Pictures of Lane Kiffin. Okay. And the one that I was like, the one above Lane Kiffin that I said you could probably flip that and nobody would be mad. Kalen DeBoer at Alabama struggled his first year at Alabama. He's good. He's always been good, but he hasn't shown it in the SEC yet. In fact, the first time since Nick Saban's rookie year at Alabama did Alabama not win 10 games last year. So
he's another one of those guys that just got to see it. Got to see it.
Speaking of got to see it, I don't know if you saw the picture of Bill Belichick over the weekend.
He's packing more than his girlfriend is.
I tell you what, it looks like he spent a lot of money up top. You know, Bill Belichick comes in as the 16th best coach in college football.
I don't buy
And you know what? The dude's got, 6 Super Bowl rings? I can't argue his ability as a football coach.
Yeah, but this is college is different. Like you can't go from having your like a picture with your missile tits out and then be the 16th best coach. Like and Sam Pittman could have a move ball. And, like how's he 16? I don't buy it.
They could start a page, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what is Austin Powers called? Machine Gun Jubblies.
Machine Gun Jubblies. That's exactly right.
All right, we got to get off of this. It's still Sunday. All right, 14 on the list to all the balls out there. Josh Heupel. I have no issue with Josh Heupel being top 15.
Plus 7,000 championship odds. Josh Heupel is another offensive, innovative coach. He's a great college football mind, and I think we're just now kind of tapping the potential that is Josh Heupel.
Yeah. What he's going to do with this quarterback UCLA, if they can sniff a playoff with that guy, then he should be in the top 5.
Absolutely.
Reports, one of my favorite Twitter accounts is message board geniuses.
I love
where they go to all these different college football message boards and pull out the most psychotic things. And they were like, something happened at Florida's practice on Friday because everybody was like, oh my goodness, fire Heupel. This quarterback sucks. We're going to go 4-8.
Joey Aguilar is his name, and he couldn't hit water. Like watching some of those passes, I saw the video. Like couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. It's going to be an interesting year on Rocky Top. Hey, feels like 98.
Feels like 98. All right, number 9 as we crack into the top 10 here. Brian Kelly from LSU. This is lifetime achievement award, I reckon.
Did you see
Mustard on mustard?
Yeah, and
That
the
was
devolving picture of him turning into a corn dog, like that made my entire weekend.
was
That's my new best of the weekend.
It was so perfect that he was the coach of LSU because his outfit was like a spicy brown over poupon mustard. You know,
100%.
just two different flavors of mustard on top of each other. Number 6 is Steve Sarkisian from Texas. We've gotten into this is just the SEC guys, but
the odds-on favorite at plus 55 at plus 550. LSU is plus 1400 for the 8th best odds.
Okay. UT Austin is going to be the gold standard of the SEC so far.
No
Going into the season, things always change. So much lies on Arch Manning. That's why he, on our Friday episode, was listed as the number 1 most important player in college football. It's Arch Manning, Steve Sarkisian right up there beside him. It all makes sense. They are the odds-on favorite. Now let's get into the top 5. We're going to have major beef with one of these. I can't wait.
Oh, boy.
Do you want to take a quick minute to guess the top 5? We went through everybody who you would ever dream of. So whoever's left is in the top 5.
All right. So are we going in order or just give you some names?
No, you just give them to me and I'll tell you where they're ranked.
So I tell you who I think should be first overall, and I'm blanking on his last Oregon's coach, Dan Lanning. Like, he should be the first overall coach in my opinion. He's got to be like top 2 or 3, right?
He is not in the top 5, and I did not write it down.
Dan Lanning is not in the top 5?
Because I only wrote down the top 5 regardless of conference.
This list
I would
is
say
absolutely invalid, but like,
so I've got 9 and 6 were SEC coaches, so I'm going to say he was either 8 or 7.
That is wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
So
that's an omission for sure.
Top 5, Dabo.
Dabo is number 5.
And that's a legacy name, right? Because he has not been great lately. They were better last year.
They made the playoff last year. They won the ACC. I think they've got a really good quarterback coming back. I think they're going to be the odds-on favorite to win the ACC. Yeah. Clemson may be back.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to save the one that's going to make me angry for the end because I think I know who it is, and it's an absolute atrocity. But Ryan Day from Ohio State's got to be in the top 5.
Number 2.
Kirby Smart's
number
first
1.
Overall. We talked about that. It's first overall. I'm not going to act like I just spitball that.
So you're missing number 4, number 3.
Is Marcus Freeman one of them?
Marcus Freeman is number 3.
Okay, so he's number 3, but that's not the one that I'm going to get super angry about. I think number 4 is who's going to bother me.
Yeah,
because James Franklin has not done anything to be a top 5 coach in college football, and if he's number 4,
he's not number 4.
Thank God, because I was
you're going to get madder though.
Who would make me madder? Because they love to hype up James Franklin.
We have talked about this team and how they are ducking out of conference games.
Get out.
Signetti.
Get out of here.
Signetti is listed as the 4th best coach in college football.
You have completely invalidated your list. There's no Dan Lanning in the top 3. Dan Lanning is a top 3 college football coach. Curt Signetti is 8th or 10th at best. Yes, he won at James Madison, but he hadn't done anything else. You're telling me that Curt Signetti is better than Dan Lanning?
Yeah. Despite his run as James Madison's coach, great run, and his 10-2 season in Indiana, which we have never seen before.
But they didn't play nobody.
You went 10-2 at Indiana, in which you did not play Michigan or Penn State, and you got run out by Ohio State. So,
and then Notre Dame.
Curt Signetti being 4 and Lane Kiffin being 19 for me is just really – because I think even Rusty would agree with me that Lane Kiffin's a better coach than Curt
absolutely.
Signetti.
He's better than Curt Signetti, yeah. Like, the only other name that came to mind that I was going to get really upset if it was Lincoln Riley, because that was another one they might sneak in there because of how he can, but like –
I pulled up this list. We were planning on doing this on Friday's show, and I had the tab open so I could refer back to it. But over the weekend, it's gone now.
Yeah,
get what you pay for.
Dan Lanning is the one that pisses me off the most. Drew, like I am upset about that one. That's
Dan Lanning was a. I would wait, and we can follow back up with this on Tuesday's show if you want to. I'll find the full list.
I imagine
Dan Lanning outside the top 5 is not smart.
Because
Lincoln Riley, I'm not really sure where he is, but he shouldn't be a top 10 coach either. I'm going to say he's around the 40 to 26 break between Mike Elko and Eli Drinkwitz.
I got a feeling that Dan Lanning is 7 and James Franklin is 8, and that's
James Franklin is going to be in the top 10. That's for sure.
And that's fine. Is he a top 15 coach? Probably. Top 10 might be pushing it because they haven't done anything.
Listen, it aggravated me to no end last year in the playoff when they finally made it and they finally got a win, but it was over freaking Boise State.
Boise State, only to get just murdered in the semis. But anyway, I'll say this: like Dan Lanning, go watch. If you don't believe me, just if nothing else, Google the video of him announcing he's staying in Oregon and not going to Alabama.
Great.
Like I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It's one of the best hype videos of all time.
When he started talking about how I want you guys to come to Oregon, how could I leave? It was.
You sent it to me when it happened, and I was just like, I was ready to go to Oregon.
I was ready to go shake Puddles' hand.
That's it. Exactly
and do push-ups with the Fluffy Puddles mascot. So
exactly. But Drew, as we wrap up college football, I do want to mention one of the Heisman favorites on FanDuel is one Garrett Nussmeier, and he is dealing with a preseason injury of patella tendonitis. He was carted off the field of LSU's practice last week. Initial reports were an ACL or catastrophic events. But it turns out it's just patella tendonitis, which can be not as bad, but that can be a season-long nagging injury that could impact what is the third best Heisman odds in all of college football. Any guesses who are the two ahead of him?
Arch Manning.
Plus 700, the odds-on favorite.
The odds-on favorite. So it's somebody in between Arch and Garrett Nussmeier.
Yep.
Okay. Is it a quarterback?
It is. It's one we've talked about on this show.
Is Cade Klubnik.
Yep, is plus 900. Your top five are Arch Manning at plus 700, Cade Klubnik plus 900, tied with Garrett Nussmeier at plus 900, Jeremiah Smith at plus 1,100, and Ty Simpson in Alabama plus 1,600. I'll give you six because the sixth one's up here is Lenore Sellers plus 1,700 at number 6.
Yeah, I'm out on Lenoris as well as a Heisman guy. I want to know. I guess Jeremiah Smith is a good one when I'm talking about value. If I want to hit it big, me and Luke were talking about it when he was going through NFL MVP odds for, I believe it was Thursday's show of the Daily Grind. And I wanted him to tell me the best defender because that's where I felt like the non-quarterback best bet would be a defender in the NFL. Don't really think of that for the Heisman, though. So maybe Jeremiah Smith at receiver. Well, who's the highest ranked running back? Is it listed?
So the other name that jumps out to me that would be good value, given Alabama's history at wide receiver, Ryan Williams is plus 4,000. And the amazing freshman
Did you know
campaign,
he was just 17 years old last year?
I was just about to say, the freshman campaign that he had at 17 years old is something of note. It's mostly running back. No, it's quarterbacks, receivers, more quarterbacks. Jackson Arnold is plus 2,500. Kevin Jennings is plus 3,000.
That's SMU, right?
Yeah, SMU.
Maybe I may put $5 on him. He's dynamic.
Yeah, I don't.
Big 12's not good.
Hey, Hayes King plus 6,500.
Pass.
King. Yeah.
No.
It's just right now, Joey Aguilar from Tennessee is plus 8,000. It's mostly just quarterbacks and receivers in the top like 25 that I'm looking at there. I can keep scrolling, but I don't want to do that to the good people here. But Garrett Nussmeier is dealing with a patella tendonitis injury that could be nagging throughout the rest of the season. It'd be something to watch through as LSU's win total on FanDuelSports.com. FanDuel.com is 8.5. They're plus 600, which is the fourth best odds behind Texas, Georgia, and Alabama to win the SEC. And this swung. We were looking at this last week on Friday. They were like minus like 108. Now they're plus 114 to get to the playoffs. And so it's interesting that line has moved given the knee injury that Nussmeier has formally been diagnosed with.
Yeah. I mean, sans Arch Manning, he may be the most important player on an SEC team this year because he is going to just have the whole offense on him. He's another one on any given Saturday. I've plugged the Netflix doc twice. It's really good. And I'm a kind of a hater of sports doc because I do watch a lot of them. And so I've got a pretty high threshold for entertainment.
Yeah.
Garrett Nussmeier, it is very important, his role on that team. And they make it extremely vocal about it going into last season, and they made a huge to-do about it on the show about whether or not he was going to go pro or come back, and they celebrated it nonstop, saying this team is Garrett Nussmeier or nothing.
Yeah. And I'm curious what that's going to do because, yes, like we talked about on Friday's episode, though, Harold Perkins and Whit Weeks can carry that defense, but you're going to have to score some points at some point. And so I'm curious what this is going to do. It's going to be something to watch. Keep an eye on Nuss's knee throughout the year because patella tendonitis can be, again, a nagging injury. And I don't know which leg. I didn't see in the article. I can look real quick. But if it's your plant leg, if it's that left leg that you plant,
a lot of rotation.
That's going to be a lot of rotation, a lot of stability from that quad, and that could be a game changer for Garrett Nussmeier.
One follow-up question, because I do know anytime you talk about tendonitis, I think long-term aches, pains, discomfort, more than structural damage.
Sure.
Is it something that a shot in the knee would get rid of immediately on a Saturday?
It depends. Yeah, I mean, yes, on a Saturday, he'd be able to play. But like Brian Kelly said that there was no fraying, no tearing, nothing like that. Typically, tendonitis just means inflammation, which means swelling. It could be some extra fluid in there. So it could be one of the things, Drew, that he could get like a shot, like a Toradol or something to help. It could be something where they drain fluid off of it, depending on what it exactly is going on there. But there's likely going to be some syringes in his future on Saturdays. He's not going to miss any time, but it's something to keep an eye on if his doesn't quite have the same zip on his passes next year, especially early on.
Right.
Something to keep an eye on.
And Lord knows you do not want to not be able to get behind a deep ball in the SEC because if you throw those short, they will get intercepted every single time.
Every time. But, Drew, we would also be remiss if we didn't mention the other big news that came out this week on a podcast. Jimbo Fisher, who's sitting at home to the tune of a $95 million buyout, has said, I am 59, I am healthy, and I'm looking for the right opportunity to rejoin coaching in college football. Drew, he is signed on as an ACC network analyst this year. That's where he's going to be spending his time. But he told Trials to Triumph, this podcast that covers just coaches and players and their sports stories, earlier this week that he's looking for the right situation to get back into coaching level. I'm at 59. I'm in great shape and healthy. I've had success everywhere I've been.
Great shape and healthy. It's not what Jimbo looked like last time I saw him.
No. But the end of Texas A&M, it's unfortunate, but we also had the highest ranked team they've ever had here in 2020. One quarterback got hurt, blah, blah, blah. It didn't pan out like we needed to, but I still love coaching. Drew, there is not any job that would entice me to go back to work if somebody's paying me $95 million to sit at the house.
Texas A&M probably would love for him to find another job because typically how these contracts work and buyouts is that if he goes back to coaching, A&M will only have to make up the difference in what they owe him.
Exactly.
So I think he was owed $10 million a year, something like that. If he goes back and coaches, say, UT San Antonio for $3 million a year, Texas A&M would only owe him $7 million while he's still the coach at UTSA. I can't think of a single big name Power 5 job that he would want that would take him just because this is a new era. He did recruit well, but players are 75% of the puzzle. But if you can't take the 75% that he had maxed out in players and get past 8-4, I don't really know. His offense always screamed of someone that was just 5 years behind the curve.
Yeah. The one team, so I'm trying to think of coaches that are on the hot seat, and none of them are really coming to mind on big pros except for one that might be interesting to watch, and this has got a Memphis tie. If Mike Norvell is out at Florida State after another struggling season, do they run it back with Jimbo Fisher?
No, there's no chance. 0% chance. I don't think so. I think I don't know what the market is for Jimbo because offensive coaches are so weird because offense changes so much. And this is kind of the reason why I was talking about Lane Kiffin. Is he's kind of always ahead of the curve. The next thing, he's a visionary. Jimbo made his bones advancing the offensive style of football to a more spread, fast motion thing. Now everybody's doing that. What can he do? What's the next wrinkle? And he couldn't do that when he moved on. And after Jameis Winston, he was never able to get an offense, and he's an offensive guy, to be in the top so much in the country to compete. So, no, I'm kind of out on an offensive coach that is behind the curve on offense.
Couldn't agree more. It feels like a Pac-12 coach in the making if I ever saw one.
North Carolina's next coach when Bill Belichick girlfriend finally gets him out of a job.
Listen, they're going to get Jimbo
They
Fisher.
love-
They're going to get
They went Mac Brown, Bill Belichick, Jimbo.
Bill Parcells is coming out of retirement. Give me Jimbo Fisher. All the guys going
dead?
to North Carolina. He might.
No, he's
I don't
not
think
dead,
he
is he?
is. No, he's not dead. He better. I don't think he is.
I don't know.
I hope not. I watched the 30
Did I
30
just
about
kill
him
him?
this morning. Don't do that. We're going to end the show now. Thanks for going to do it for your Monday edition of the 2 Buck Sports Show. I'm your co-host, Rusty Buckets, with my guy, Uncle Buck, here Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central God's time zone, getting you jumped and primed for your lunch break. Anthony Saint is at a new time at 1 p.m. now. Set your alarm. Don't be there at 2 o'clock. Be there at 1 or you're going to miss it. Thanks for hanging out with us, Jared, Wayno, King Meeks, Jalen. I'm talking about the guys who are normally here, Edward, Jerry. Y'all, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back tomorrow live on Tuesday at 11 a.m. In the meantime, be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, there are no refunds for what you heard today.
That's right. Because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to the 2 Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.